Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. This is Juanita. Well, today it has been raining, so I haven't been able to accomplish a whole lot. I kind of trimmed, edged the lawn, which I didn't film, but I edged that. And trying to look at the ground. And one of the things that I came up with today is that I'm actually going to hire my nephew to come and stucco the wall over here, because the wall back here is, the foundation is kind of cracking, and it really, the bottom part of it, it's kind of broken up. It really doesn't look very pretty. Now I thought of putting lattice down there and covering it up, but you know what? Kind of like putting a band-aid on something. Anyway, all that being said, that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing, so I'm not going to be able to accomplish a lot as far as laying more flagstone for at least for another week. And if you notice a plant here, yeah, I'm kind of testing the waters. Eventually, when I've got this whole thing decorated and everything put together, I'm going to actually build some planter boxes around these posts, and that way the chickens aren't attacking and eating my plants, and also so that I have a little bit of a garden. I'm not good at gardening. I'm gonna just flat out be honest here. I can do so many things, but when it comes to gardening, I have tried it so many times and failed miserably. But I'm hoping by building these planters, which they'll be elongated. It's going to be probably no wider than here, and probably no longer than over here. But I'm going to do build boxes for them. I looked around for planters, but you know, I think I want the challenge of building planters. And it's going to also serve, like I said, I'm not good at gardening, but I'm going to attempt to maybe do some chives and herbs. And this way we could just pick it out right there and chop it up. But I'm also going to be doing some clematis in there, because this way, this gives it some greenery. I'm also going to be putting on this other pillar, and I might do a combination. I'm not 100% sure how I want to go about it right now. I'm still kind of going through the process of trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. But I have some evergreen star jasmine, and it never loses its leaves through even the winter. It stays green, and then it blooms these little beautiful white flowers that are very fragrant. And my plan is to bring hummingbirds in and butterflies, and not so much bees, because a lot of plants do collect honeybees or bees to pollinate, and they serve their purpose. But you know what, when I'm eating, I don't want to be swatting away any bee. So I'd rather have a hummingbird, you know, or butterflies around me. So I'm gonna do that, but that's gonna be a whole different video. But first things first is getting this flagstone down and decorating. But today I'm going to be building a drain, a little drain. So I'm gonna go get my tools and then I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so one of the things that I want to accomplish today is this little bare area that I cleared out over here. I'm going to try to create a drain effect by digging in a few inches down and then filling it up with this river rock that we have around the yard. Now I'm going to still lay probably flagstone over it, but the purpose for that is that if we get a big rainfall, or any rainfall for that matter, it will not collect where it normally does on top of this little sidewalk that we have. And then it'll also drain in here because of the opening, and it won't come in and filter into underneath the pergola. Now, it typically doesn't, but there was a time many years ago when, of course, granted, the yard was entirely done differently. I mean, this, like I said, this whole backyard was once a gravel pit. And so I've since leveled it out more to put the lawn in, and you know, this area here ended up with the gravel. I'm trying to get rid of it because I really hate this gravel, but it comes in handy, and this just happens to be one of those times. So I'm going to create a gravel bed here as a drain purpose for any type of rain to filter in to this area. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I don't know the challenges of doing this because, like I said, this whole yard was a gravel pit at one time, and this yard does have a lot of rock embedded into the ground. So that's why I'm not too worried as far as laying this stone and it shifting or doing a lot of changes to it, because it's pretty much on a bed of rock. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna get busy. So to dig down, I'm going to use my shovel, but I'm going to use a pick because more or less I'm going to need it. So we'll see how much of a challenge this will be. But I'm up for the task. Before I go into it too deeply, I have a subscriber who is a little concerned about this little tree that we have here. That little tree has been here for many, many years, and it hasn't grown any bigger than what it already is. It could be because I keep trimming the top part of it off, and you know, the jury's still out whether I want to take it out or not, but it's not going to hurt the foundation. It's not going to hurt the steps. You know, I dug down on this dirt, as you saw in my other video, and there wasn't really, the root bound on it is not very big. The root system, I should say, is not very spread out. So I'm not worried about it getting into the house or in the yard. And not only that, these houses, I mean, this is like a I think it's 1917 or 1907 home. It's very, very old. So if you're my age or older, a lot of these old homes had a back porch, and some of them were covered, some of them weren't. We actually have a covered porch, which is very small. It's like a mud room. So some of these old homes used them and utilized these rooms for like either laundry rooms or a mud room. I use it as a pantry because it makes a great pantry. But anyway, underneath here, there's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. It's just a big, empty, huge area. So even if the root system was really large and it went underneath into the foundation, there's nothing there for it to hurt. Yeah, even underneath these stairs, there's a space, a crawl space. And eventually, on the other side of this, I am going to open it up and utilize that for storage. But for now, I just want to let you know that I'm not worried about this tree at all. But I really appreciate the concerns, and you know, they're valid concerns, because you know, trees do create a lot of damage to foundations. So that you know, this is not going to grow very big. It's probably a miniature of some type, but it's been here for years, so I'm not too worried. Okay, back to work. This is the star jasmine I was talking about earlier. And it grows this beautiful little flowers. I don't know if you can see that. And they are very fragrant. And they have a long blooming season. They bloom in the spring and then through summer. So yeah, so I'm excited. And they're fast growing if you get the proper sun. Otherwise, they're kind of a slow grower. But I'm hoping that I can fill the top part of this pergola with some nice smelly flowers, as well as an evergreen that doesn't lose its leaves, because I don't want to be raking any leaves. That's the whole goal. Now I will with the clematis, obviously, but you know what? You got to pick your battles. So anyway, got to get busy. So the dirt that I'm hauling out of there, I'm going to utilize for this area because I need to fill in with dirt here. think I scared my chickens. Guess I can't say I blame them. So now all this dirt here, I'm going to use to level this area out. So it serves another purpose. And I don't know if you guys can see, but it's probably, let's measure it. I just happen to have a measuring tape. So it's about 3 inches, more or less. That's what I'm going to be filling it. This is going to be more like 3 inches as well. So it's not very deep, but the whole purpose is just to, and it doesn't have to be level because it's going to be filled with rock. So the purpose is just to somewhat level it, but at the same time create a drain for any kind of water that feeds into this area or into this area, and it'll give me a place to also sweep any water if there's any water collected in this area. So yeah, so now I'm going to go over here and get me some rock. Okay, you guys, apparently the camera was not rolling when I hauled all this rock over here and stomped on it. Anyway, oh my God, it was a lot of work, but it's laid out. Now probably put a little bit of dirt over that. And the reason why I didn't level it to the sidewalk here is because I'm gonna put a little dirt and then I'm gonna put the flagstone level with it. Now that area I'm not going to be filling in with mortar at all, because then that would defeat the purpose of having a drain. But what I will do is I will put probably some peat moss and have a little prettiness and a little greenery there. And yeah, so, but it's gonna look fantastic. But for now, I'm gonna call it a night. And if you guys ever take on a project like this, I wish you'd have saw me hauling it back and forth and dumping the river rock into this. Because if it's one thing, if you guys take on a project like this, always be mindful of how you pick up things so that you don't hurt your back. Always pick up with your thigh muscles and your glutes. It's really important. Don't put the stress on your back, whether you're shoveling dirt or shoveling gravel or picking up a wheelbarrow. It is so easy to injure your back if you're not constantly mindful of that. I've known people to hurt their backs accidentally because they are so used to doing this as a daily work that we just go with the motions of everyday work, and it can take you out of your, your livelihood of your work. So yeah, I'll just leave you guys with that little tip. Come on, ladies, it's time to go to bed. You guys want treats? Come on, come on. I'll give you guys some treats. I'll show you guys really quick what I did this actually yesterday. I didn't tape it because the area is really small and just no way to have captured it on film. So I will bring you up close and you guys can see what I did yesterday. This whole area was a mess. And so yesterday I got up on top of the chicken coop to take some ivy out that accumulates because of my neighbor. My neighbor's yard is filled with ivy and it tends to want to strangle my plants. And it was a good thing that I got up on my chicken coop to assess how much ivy was up there and to kind of trim some of the bushes, the tree, the butterfly tree. So I wanted to trim that and kind of see what's growing up there and how well it's doing. And it's doing really great, but I pulled out a lot of ivy, and when I did that, of course, one thing leads to another. So I cleaned this out. Like I said, it was a mess, so I dug down and organized it for my husband, because this is his job, to feed the chickens and to clean the chicken coop. So he has his containers that has all the stuff that he needs, and so to keep it nice and clean and stuff, I kind of organized it and kept it dirt free. So that's what I did yesterday. So I'll leave you with that. Again, thank you guys. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for watching.